Something that will mop and vacuum the studio for us? Sign us up now. It's the Narwal Freo X Plus.
From setup to the mobile app to the pros and cons, we look at the Narwal Freo X Plus.
Welcome everybody. Spike Studio loves the home automation, as you know. This time we're looking at the Narwal Freo X Plus. Kind of hefty when it's inside the box, but overall, this is supposed to be mopping and vacuuming. It comes with all the parts you need inside. Let's take a look inside the box. Let's put it together. Let's run it. Let's show it to you live and let you know. First things first, what I do like is right on the front, they tell you everything that's going to be inside the box. So inside the first part of the box, you actually have the base plate, you have the user manual, you have, of course, the power cables underneath, and then deeper in the box is where we have all the components itself. We're just going to drop that and pretend like that didn't happen. We have the actual Narwal unit. It's heavy. Let's not even pretend to say that this thing doesn't have some weight to it, which is good. It also says it has the pad in there for the dry mopping. It has a tangle-free brush, according to them, on the bottom. The wheels adjustable for height, as you can tell, to get over obstacles. Also inside is the base plate that it plugs into, and then, of course, the side brush and the others. Step one is installing the side brushes. They come right here in the box on the side. I flipped it over inside the box so you could see. They are color-coded, which is nice. There's actually the purple and the orange on the other side, and they come color-coded, as you can tell. These just snap into place. Now, as you know, for everything else, these are the side guards. They have a special shape on this to match that part. So we'll turn that over and we'll match that up and see if that just snaps on there for you. That does. We'll take the other one and we'll do exactly the same thing. Match up the shape and snap it into place. A couple things on step three. There's a remove the lid from here to do that. There's also a tab on the side that removes the collision foam. So if we take the tab off, we take the lid up, you can see that there is a anti-collision foam that comes out and wraps around. So we'll take this out, and that's step three. So step four, filling up the water. Also to note, this is the actual one for, you got to pull this tab and use your thumb to pull it up. This is for when it vacuums. It has the filter on that side that's replaceable, and the little clip here that just pops open the bottom door to dump it out. So all just snaps together, fits back in. That's for the part that it collects in there. Now for the water, I wanted to measure how much is actually held. It held about a cup. I used the cups for this one. So it had a nice handle to put it in. You could fill it in place, but heck, if you can pull it out, you can see there's the tube that runs along the inside. So put it on its base and get ready to go. So I found a corner for it, and it started doing that before I could turn on the recording, so it's a little bit dark, apologize. It's actually checking the testing. I put the plastic pad underneath even though it's on the carpet. Didn't say you had to, but as soon as I put it on the base, it shows an indicator light that it was charging. We'll let it charge, and then we'll put it through its paces and also show you the app that runs it all.
On first launch, the app went into setup mode, connected itself via Bluetooth to the actual robot vacuum. It got the Wi-Fi information that it had already configured on the phone as well and asked you to resubmit the password. Once it did that part, there was the connection to the router that it did. You could see the status at the top, which was really nice. And once it was completed, then you were pairing the robot and getting ready to synchronize everything. Very simple, very easy to do, and went pretty quick. Next stage was mapping. It ran around whatever floor plan you had, mapped out the walls, the corners, and what type of floor you had, and came back to its base to charge up.
And we are back. About a week later, we've used it pretty much every day. Had a lot of things we wanted to run it through. It was interesting to watch. So a couple things. First of all, the application itself. Let's throw this up to the screen. So the application itself does a pretty nice job. It was easy to understand. It's easy to configure. You could set different modes. You can set it to do mopping only, heavy mopping, vacuuming only, certain rooms if you have rooms that you can isolate off. That's all in there. It gives you a great look at what your layout looks like. It'll show you where there's linoleum or hardwood versus carpet. It marks that off as well. It doesn't draw things like a kitchen island, but you see it in the pattern as it goes around. Now what to do when it launches? When it comes off, it actually starts out and it follows the same path every time. I noticed that. It starts with the outline of the entire place or room that you're letting it do, then it starts filling it in. What's really cool is during the time it's running, I can view on the actual device where it is, how long it's been running, what the battery life is like, what mode it's in, everything else going on. That's a really cool feature to know where it is. And if it ever gets stuck, you kind of know where to go and look for it. Next part was the mop. So it's running, and it's running the mop on the floor. Now this isn't a pressure type mop. It's more of a drag a wet mop around. So at heavy scrubbing, not the best in the world, but it does a really nice cleanup job on a daily basis. You have to go back sometimes to get a hard spot or something else may have happened. So another key part I noticed was the pad. If it has to go back to a base that goes across carpet, then it will take the pad across the carpet. If you use the plastic pad and you put that on hardwood somewhere and that's where you store it and it goes back to its base, then of course it'll be fine sitting on there. But if you do put it in a room that has carpet, which I did, it'll take a little turn. Didn't get the carpet really messy, didn't get it damp or anything like that, but you could tell that it took, for a moment, a little wet mop across the top of the carpet. It did try to raise the wheels a little bit. Auto adjusting. Did a great job going off and on different levels. Throw rugs, entryway rugs, dropping down to carpet in the different rooms, adjusting itself as it went under tables. It tried to do all that. It really learned well where obstacles were. The door stops were always fun the first couple times because it was constantly running into those. Cleaning up. So it does at the end run a cycle. And if you have pets, it even asks you, hey, do you want us to turn this off just because there may be pets or something else noise-wise in the house? So it won't run the actual part where it pushes all the debris to a corner of the little container trap that we dump out, and we show that when we dump that out. And then as for the water container, it held its own. It actually did pretty good. It lasted through about 1.5 times around large amounts of, we have, in the studio, we have some of the fake Pergo hardwood floors, some linoleum stuff, let it run into bathrooms. It did a really nice job, and it really kept a bunch of water longer than I thought it would. So overall, what do we think? Great value, great for the price. It works with Alexa. It works with the application. It's easily viewable. It's easy to configure, easy to set up just from the remote when you're not home if you want to. Make sure to close doors or whatever you're gonna do with stairs. It does have stair avoidance built in. Was it perfect? It did great. One time it got a little stuck. The rest of the time it avoided it once you said there were some stairs there. It's not 1,000% accurate. I've learned that as well. And then the last piece of the puzzle might be cost versus the other ones. I think because it does both vacuuming and mopping, it's well worth the investment. You can get it online from their site and you get it from Amazon. You can find it out in the wild sometimes. So from Spike Studio, Narwal Freo X Plus, one we'll be using day to day now. And if you have other product reviews you want us to do, please let us know in the comments below.